Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers have stated that they do not know the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu. They stated that Nnamdi Kanu is missing. They don't have any connection with Nnamdi Kanu. That after Nnamdi Kanu's last appearance at the Federal High Court in Abuja, Nnamdi Kanu has not been found. They don't know the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu. Michael Okpara, the legal counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, made this declaration. He stated that the DSS have denied them access to Nnamdi Kanu. That is to say, since Nnamdi Kanu's last trial, which occurred on 24th September 2024, they have not set their eyes on Nnamdi Kanu. They don't know whether if Nnamdi Kanu is still alive or dead. They don't know whether if Nnamdi Kanu is dead. So they don't know anything about Nnamdi Kanu since then. So from September till now is 1 month. They don't have any knowledge of Nnamdi Kanu's whereabouts. Before the last case, Nnamdi Kanu pleaded in court that the federal government has no legal right to try him because his broadcast was done in the UK. When he was talking about IPOB, it was done in the UK, not in Nigeria. So Nigerian government do not have the legal jurisdiction to try him in any court of law in Nigeria. That the only people that have the rights and legal jurisdiction to try him are the UK, which is the place that he was when he was doing the broadcast. Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been battling legal case with the federal government. First, he was illegally kidnapped in Kenya and brought to Nigeria on June 2021. Since then, Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention at the DSS dungeon. They kept him there under solitary confinement, which means that he has no access to anybody. So imagine someone that is kept in a detention facility alone without anybody. Just imagine what that will do to that person's health and mental. Just imagine what it will do to that person's mental and health wise. And now the court has made it clear that Nnamdi Kanu's legal counsel have the right to see him anytime they want to. But the DSS have deprived them that opportunity. The DSS have deprived Nnamdi Kanu's legal team the right to see him, to hear from him, to know how he's faring. This has been happening since Nnamdi Kanu's trial began in 2021. And the presiding judge that has been handling Nnamdi Kanu's trial is Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja. She has been the one that has been handling Nnamdi Kanu's trial until the last, the last one before this previous one, until the last court judgment. Nnamdi Kanu stated that Binta Nyako should step aside from his case since the Supreme Court has already concluded his case. Supreme Court has already concluded his case and given the order for his discharge. According to the Supreme Court, Nnamdi Kanu did not commit any crime, and rather it is the federal government that committed a crime against him by violating his fundamental human rights. And for that reason, the federal government was charged with over 2 billion naira as a compensation to Nnamdi Kanu. That is to say, the federal government have to pay 2 billion naira to compensate Nnamdi Kanu, but they have not paid that money. Rather, they still kept Nnamdi Kanu in the DSS custody, allowing his case to continue under the Federal High Court in Abuja. So imagine when the Supreme Court, the highest court in the country, gives a verdict, the verdict will be thwarted. So that means the Supreme Court's verdict or ruling is not accepted by the federal government. So they still kept Nnamdi Kanu under DSS detention and continue with his trial in the Federal High Court until Nnamdi Kanu made that statement that Justice Binta Nyako should excuse herself out from his case because she doesn't have the legal tendency to try him. Nnamdi Kanu stated that Binta Nyako is partial and he has lost confidence in her because since the case has been going on, Binta Nyako has been siding the federal government. There is no independence. There's what we call judicial independence. There is none. So it looks like the federal government has been controlling her, telling her what to do and what not to do. So she doesn't have any independent authority as a chief judge to adjudicate on Nnamdi Kanu's case. So for that reason, Nnamdi Kanu told her plain that she should excuse herself from the case because he has lost confidence in her, that she is partial and she doesn't follow court proceedings. So after making that declaration, Justice Binta Nyako excused herself from Nnamdi Kanu's case, but the Chief Judge of Nigeria forced her back to the case, that she must continue with Nnamdi Kanu's case. Are you understanding how this thing is going? That she must continue with Nnamdi Kanu's case. That is the order that the Chief Justice of Nigeria gave to Justice Binta Nyako. Because after Nnamdi Kanu made that statement that she should excuse herself from the case, that one, Nigeria has no legal right to try him since the case against him happened in the UK, not in Nigerian territory. It is only the UK that has the right, the legal power to try him. And secondly, for the fact that Justice Binta Nyako is very partial in the sense that she's not following court rules and court proceedings. Rather, she's just working based on the order from the federal government. So for that reason, she doesn't have the credibility to try him. Nnamdi Kanu told her that he has lost confidence in her as a judge. That is how Binta Nyako decided to excuse herself from the case. But the funny part of it is that the Chief Justice of Nigeria called her back and forced her back into the case, that she must continue with Nnamdi Kanu's case no matter what. So this should tell you that the federal government are the ones controlling the chief judge. So right now, the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu are now complaining that after the last trial, which happened on the 24th of September 2024, after the last court trial at the Federal High Court in Abuja, they have not set their eyes on Nnamdi Kanu. They don't know anything about his whereabouts. They don't know whether if Nnamdi Kanu is dead or if Nnamdi Kanu is still alive. They don't know that the DSS have denied them every access to Nnamdi Kanu. Since the last case, they have denied the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu complete access to Nnamdi Kanu. So for the past 1 month, Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, led by Barrister Michael Okpara, Nnamdi Kanu legal team has been denied access to Nnamdi Kanu. And that is why they have been calling out on human rights activists, United Nations organization, and Nigerians in general to come into their aid, that the federal government is using impunity against them, that this case is supposed to be a fair trial, but they have turned it to something else, because the case of Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government is no longer a fair trial because of the magu-magu involved in the case. So many courts, including the Court of Appeal, have exonerated Nnamdi Kanu of all the charges leveled against him by the federal government. The government tried him for treason and so many other charges. They also tried him for terrorism and so on and so forth. But they do not have the evidence to back up their charges. So for the fact they don't have any evidence to back up their charges, there is absolutely no way that they can prosecute Nnamdi Kanu because they don't have the evidence against him. So what they did was to detain him, to keep on prolonging his trial. That is why the trial has been lingering for the past 3 years. Since 2021, Nnamdi Kanu has been in DSS detention for the past 3 years. And up till now, they have not concluded his case. His case has not come to a resolution. If not for the fact that everybody is eyeing Nnamdi Kanu's case, including the international community, they would have executed Nnamdi Kanu a long time ago. But for the fact that every eye is on this case, there is nothing they can do. They must produce Nnamdi Kanu, because the international community, World Human Rights Organization, and the UNO, United Nations Organization, now knows about the case. Just like someone agitating for the freedom of his people, is that a crime? Because what Nnamdi Kanu was agitating was for the freedom of the Igbos. The Igbos have been marginalized in Nigeria. They have been discriminated politically, socially, and economically since the Civil War. Since after the Civil War of 1967 to 1970, the Igbos are being marginalized till this very day. That is why, if you check history, since 1966 that Agi Ironsi was assassinated by a military coup, there has never been any Igbo president in Nigeria. So do the calculation from 1966 to date. How many years? How many years? Do the calculation. There is no Igbo president in Nigeria. Is that not the highest marginalization of the other? That is the highest discrimination. So the lawyers have been complaining that they don't know the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu. They don't know what has happened to Nnamdi Kanu. That they don't know whether if Nnamdi Kanu is alive or dead. They don't know about his whereabouts. They don't know whether if his health has deteriorated, that the DSS has shut them out from seeing Nnamdi Kanu. They don't have any right and gain to see Nnamdi Kanu. That is what the man is complaining. Nnamdi Kanu's legal team, led by Barrister Mike Okpara. Whereas the court has already given out an order. They have warned the DG, the Director General of the DSS, to stop disobeying court order. They have warned him seriously to always allow Nnamdi Kanu's legal team to have access to him. They have warned him to allow Nnamdi Kanu's personal doctor to have access to him, that if he continues disobeying court order, he will be charged for contempt of the court, and he might be sent to jail. They don't care whether if he's being controlled by the government, the federal government. The court has already given the order that the DG of the DSS must obey the court order. No matter who he thinks he is, he must obey the court order. But the question now is, will the DSS boss obey the court order? Because they have given the ruling that if he doesn't obey the court order, he will be charged for contempt. But now Nnamdi Kanu lawyers are complaining that they don't have any access to Nnamdi Kanu anymore. That means the DSS boss is still not obeying court order. He's still acting ultra vires. He's still acting above the law. So what action will the court take against him right now? Because from what is happening right now, it means he's not obeying court order. So they are clearly saying that Nnamdi Kanu is missing. That is what they are saying. They are saying that Nnamdi Kanu is missing. Not to waste much of your time, I'm going to play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself.
Hello my people, for those of you who are asking me about the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu, whether Nnamdi Kanu has been released, what is happening to his case, whether we have seen him and what have you. For a couple of days now, I have received several calls within and outside the shore of this country, Nigeria, and people are trying to say that they saw a trending news that Nnamdi Kanu has been released, that we heard that we went to court of appeal. Why do we went to court of appeal and what have you? I've been explaining. But I feel that it is nice for me to make this video so that everybody will understand the position of things. As we speak now, I, Maxwell Opera, a member of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, have not set my eye on Nnamdi Kanu nor hear from him since 24th day of September 2024 when we went to court last. I don't know why the DSS decided to behave in this manner. Simply because Nnamdi Kanu told the judge that I have lost confidence in you. I don't think that I will get justice from their court. You have been biased. He marshaled out his reasons. And the judge said, okay, I have heard. I'm going to send the file back to CJ for reassignment for another judge to hear it, which is normal. It is admissible in practice of law. Now, since that day up to now, the DSS practically refused us access to Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know whether Nnamdi Kanu is alive. I don't know whether he's still in DSS custody in Abuja. I don't know his whereabouts as his lawyer. We have been going there severally because there is a valid and subsisting court order directing DSS to allow Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, his family members, friends and well-wishers to be visiting him twice every week, Mondays and Thursdays. That order, DSS in their usual way flouted that order. And this is one of the things that made us to file from 48. And we also applied to court, asking court, look at our challenges. We, under section 36 of the Constitution, somebody that is facing criminal trial has a right of adequate time and facility within which to prepare for his defense. They refuse us access. We don't have an adequate time and facility to prepare Nnamdi Kanu for his defense. And we challenge. That's one of the things that brought us to court. So for those of you who are asking whether Nnamdi Kanu has been released, he has not been released. Whether I have seen him, I have not seen him. Whether I know his whereabouts, I don't know his whereabouts. If you should ask me, yes, court said that he should be detained in DSS. I don't know whether he's still there. That I will tell you because they refused me access to see him. That one is on that. On why we went to court, of appeal yesterday. We went to court of appeal because we have 3 appeals which we filed from High Court to Court of Appeal. What are the issues? The first one is court and the Supreme Court. Remember that we got judgment in Court of Appeal. Where Court of Appeal, the 3-man panel said that Nnamdi Kanu discharged Nnamdi Kanu from all the whole charges. 2, that the way a man of Nnamdi Kanu is brought from Kenya to Nigeria, they condemn it. They condemn all the actions of the government and order that Nnamdi Kanu should be released immediately. They refuse to comply with that order. I'm talking about DSS and the federal government. They refuse to comply with that order until 8 days. When we wanted to take the director of DSS on contempt proceedings, they quickly filed notice of appeal and what they call notice of appeal against that judgment to Supreme Court and filed motion for stay in a criminal matter. Now we went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court, after hearing our matter, agreed that Nnamdi Kanu never done bail. Agreed that the court ought not have revoked his bail. Agreed that the way a man Nnamdi Kanu is brought from Kenya to Nigeria here is unlawful. They also condemned the actions of the federal government of invading Nnamdi Kanu's house with Operation Python Dance, the military, the army, the soldiers. They condemned this act and said that we should go back to the federal high court and Nnamdi Kanu should go and face the trial. We don't have problem about that. We agreed. Now we brought this judgment to the court, so you can now see what the apex court said. Not Court of Appeal this time, or Supreme Court. Please, can you reinstate the bail of Nnamdi Kanu? They said that you ought not have revoked his bail. He refused. She refused. The judge refused. We appeal against that. Now the law under which they charge Nnamdi Kanu, that Terrorism Prevention Act, has been repealed. It's no longer in existence. We say since the law is no longer in existence, what are you still charging him? Court, please, based on that, discharge him. The judge refused. We appeal against that. Now we apply to have adequate time and facility with Nnamdi Kanu, asking court to order that they should allow us to have free access to prepare him. That order was not made. We appeal against it. These are the 3 issues that took us to Court of Appeal. Then yesterday, the matter was heard. So on the issue of the statement of his bail, they said that the record of proceedings of that particular day, the judge revoked his bail, was not there. And we told the court that we applied. Look at what they gave us. Even when they demanded it, they said this is what they give us. That's the order. The panel said that we should go back to that place and brought that record of that particular record of proceedings of that day. So, and adjourned the matter 13th of January. The question there is that why 13th of January? Somebody that is under incarceration. So, but that one is the top of another day. We have applied. We are following it up. The other 2 appeals was also hard, and they said that they have adjourned for judgment and they will communicate to us on the date of the judgment. Now on Monday, I think that was on the 14th. On the 14th Monday, we went to 14th of October. That's the previous Monday. Monday this week. We went to DSS, applied again for us to see Nnamdi Kanu, for us to have a discussion with him, if he's still with them, if he's still alive, for us to have a discussion with him against the matter that came up yesterday, 17th of October. We went to that place. Brethren, they refused us. First of all, when we came, they said that all the lawyers from Nnamdi Kanu, we should park outside the express, then and walk in their premises with left, which we did. Whereas other lawyers that came to see their clients, we are also allowed inside to drive with their car. They said that we should not go inside with our phone, that we should drop our phones in the car, which we did. But when we were in the reception, we saw other lawyers, our colleagues who came to see their clients also. They were with their phones in the reception, waited. They were busy calling lawyers who are seeing their clients until remaining us. Around 5,000 of them about they come and tell us that we're not going to see Nnamdi Kanu. Why? That the order is from above. Against court order, that was why we suspected something must have happened. So that is the position we find ourselves. And I am calling the people of Nigeria. This persecution of Nnamdi Kanu is too much, especially the people from Southeast. This persecution is too much, and this is high time everybody should join hands. The lawyers, the civil society group, the political leaders, the religious leaders, and what have you, to protest against this. Nnamdi Kanu is a freedom fighter. He's not a terrorist. Everybody knows. You said that he made a comment. A comment of what? People have made comments more than the one Nnamdi Kanu you feel that Nnamdi Kanu has made in this country, including the wife of the president. During the time when they were campaigning for the election of 2023, he said that Igbo should leave. Oba of Lagos said that Igbo should go and die in Lagoon. People refused Igbos to come and vote in Lagos. Open threatening, nothing happened. Nobody charged them for terrorism. It's only Nnamdi Kanu. The people that we see that have committed the act of terrorism in this country, they were allowed to go. It's only Nnamdi Kanu. This persecution of Nnamdi Kanu is getting out of hand.
On the lower court. So I was actually surprised that a high court have refused to obey or abide by the determination of a Supreme Court judgment.
And then take the only part that is against him and then refuse to apply the part that is in favor of him.
This cherry picking of what was contained in the Supreme Court judgment is what I'm against.
Yes, that's correct.
It should be implemented holistically.
Yes.
I'm not against taking any trial.
Judgment.
After all, I'm innocent, so they have nothing against me. But there cannot be any trial when key sections of the Constitution and a key Supreme Court judgment has been violated by a court of law.
So you will be patient for the case to go back and come back to the court?
This is my 4th year in solitary confinement in detention. The 5th year will not kill me.
Sorry, what if the case is also reassigned back to her? Will you still be going to
It's not going to happen.
No, it won't happen.
It won't happen. It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way at all.
Thank you very much.
These are the things that the public must understand. Most of you journalists, the legal correspondents, you don't take time to actually study some of these rulings and judgments. Go and study. In fact, I'll give you.
Bring that envelope. Bring the envelope. Look at it here. Look at it here. Look at it.
I'll give it to her because I think she's a bit more.
Give her the Supreme Court judgment.
Can you hold this for me?
She can.
I want to let the whole world understand something. Very, very clear. In all this is judgment of the Supreme Court. It made it very clear that even that the impartiality of the judge is questionable. And is here. Where is it? Please do bear with me. It says it here.
I like
what is it. Page? What is that again? Where it says
page 18.
all these things are online. Is it not page 18? All these things are online. So I suggest that the journalists in this country actually take out time to do some basic research. It's not difficult, just minor research. You will understand the vacuousness, the emptiness of all the charges against me.
Okay.
They kept switching the charges. They said I committed this crime in England, isn't it?
Yes.
I made a broadcast in England.
Yes.
And in 9 charges leveled against me, this place where I committed this crime was London, in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
When my lawyers came to see me, I had a discussion with them about how I'm going to defend myself. I told them that no court in Nigeria has jurisdiction to try me. Because since this offense was committed in England, so they said, it's only a UK court that can give a Nigerian court the authority to proceed, isn't it?
Yeah, based on that, they removed London.
Based on that, they now amended the charge again and removed London.
Location of the broadcast.
Location of the broadcast. Contrary to section 196?
174 of the Terrorism Prevention Act 2022.
In violation of their own laws. Violation of their own laws. And you want me to stand trial under such circumstances? Is that possible? Nnamdi Kanu to stand trial where these shenanigans are going on? It's not possible.
Because
So that is it. That is it. You have heard from Barrister Mike Okpara. He has complained that Nnamdi Kanu is nowhere to be found. He has complained that Nnamdi Kanu is missing, that the DSS have deprived them the right to see Nnamdi Kanu. They have denied them access to Nnamdi Kanu. So since 24th September 2024 till date, they don't know the whereabouts of Nnamdi Kanu. They don't know what has happened to him. They don't know whether if Nnamdi Kanu is still alive or if Nnamdi Kanu is dead. They don't know. So imagine. So the question is, where is Nnamdi Kanu? Where has the DSS put him? That is the question that Nigerians are asking. If the lawyers that the court have already permitted to see Nnamdi Kanu whenever they want or whenever they feel like, since they don't have the right anymore or the access to see Nnamdi Kanu, so where could Nnamdi Kanu be? That is the question that everyone is asking. Because the only crime that Nnamdi Kanu ever committed is for agitating for the Biafran. That is the crime. For defending his people. That is the crime. For requesting for Biafra liberation. That is the crime. Because they say that they are tired of Nigeria. The marginalization is too much. They want to go and form their own country. That is the crime. That is the crime that the federal government is trying Nnamdi Kanu on. So, what is there? The court did not say anything. They said that the federal government has no case with Nnamdi Kanu because there is no evidence for the treason charges. There is no evidence for the terrorism charges. Boko Haram and bandits are slaughtering people there up and down. There is nothing they are doing about it. Just like so many news that has been spreading all over the social media, that when these Boko Haram and bandits are being arrested by the military, they are freed. Within few days, they will be released. So just tell me what this country is turning into. This is what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting against. Because of the marginalization of the Igbos. Since 1966, that Major General Ironsi was assassinated, no Igbo man has become president in Nigeria. Since 1966, just do the calculation, how many years? From 1966 to date is how many years? No Igbo man has ever ruled Nigeria. And that is how they want it to be. And they want the Igbos to continue being Nigeria when they don't have the political power to rule Nigeria. So imagine a particular region being denied the political right to rule Nigeria. So they say they are tired of Nigeria. They want to go and form their own country. It now becomes a problem. It now becomes a crime. That is what they are trying Nnamdi Kanu in the law court. So you can see that they don't have any case with him. They are just keeping him in detention just to be wasting time. Just like so many others have said that they are just wasting Nnamdi Kanu's time in detention. They don't have any case against that man. That man has done nothing wrong to the federal government. They are just wasting his time in detention. Because they know that if truly they want to try him in court, they would have followed court order. So they are just using that court to, deceive people. So tell me, if the court gives order that the boss of the DSS must obey, that he must grant Nnamdi Kanu's legal team the access to always meet with Nnamdi Kanu and discuss with him concerning his upcoming trial. But the boss of the DSS have denied them the access. So that means the DSS boss have failed to obey court order, and that is pure contempt of court. So will the DSS boss be arrested and tried for disobeying court order. Honestly speaking, I don't have much to say about Nigeria. I don't have much to say. So that is all I have for you in this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification icon to be the first to be notified whenever I drop new updates. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day.